أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي أشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for coming. Today we're continuing our discussion on the 16th word. Again, the word is discussing God's oneness and how he himself is the only creator of every single being in the universe without any means or helper. I hope today we can understand this more deeply and better. We are starting on page 216 from the book The Words. And this is the fourth ray. Again, the verse that we have been discussing continuously is a verse from chapter Yasin or Surah Yasin, and it says, "In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, indeed his command when he wills a thing is be, and it is, so glory be unto him in whose hand is the dominion of all things, and to him will you all be brought back." All right, I'll start reading the fourth ray. Again, as usual, take notes, whatever stands out for you, any questions, any thoughts, any reflections, go ahead and share it. All right, so it says, "Oh, my lazy soul," and it starts with the idea of lazy soul, which is interesting. "Like the soldier in the previous comparison was received into the royal presence as a pure favor, the reality of the 5 daily prayers, which are like a sort of ascension, are a being received into the presence of the all-glorious one of beauty, the beauteous one of glory, who is the true object of worship." I took note here of the phrase, "who is the true object of worship," and I asked myself, well, what does true and false object of worship mean? I'm not sure if it's directly relevant to the topic of the oneness of God, but it's a question on my mind. Anyways, who is the true object of worship as an instance of pure mercy. Declaring God is most great, it is to traverse the 2 worlds either in fact or in the imagination, or by intention be divested of the restrictions of materiality, pass to a universal degree of worship or a shadow or form of universality, and being honored with a sort of presence. It is to manifest the address of "you alone do we worship," everyone according to his own capacity. It is a most elevated attainment. The repetition of God is most great in the actions of the prayers indicates rising through the degrees of spiritual progress and ascending from minor particulars to universal spheres, and is a concise title of the perfections of divine sublimity, which are beyond our knowledge. It is as if each God is most great indicates traversing a step into the ascension to attain to a shadow or a ray of this reality of the prayers, either in fact or by intention or with the imagination, is a great happiness. I think for me, in this paragraph, it left me wondering about the idea of universality. How is an act of worship related to universality? What could the progress or the spiritual progress be? And I'm curious to see or understand what happiness has to do with all of this. And these are my questions. I don't have any answers. Any thoughts or reflections here? Sorry, I saw someone's hand. Yes, please go ahead.
Interesting question, subject. How can we reach universality? I think human capacity is created in such a way that we can interact with the rest of the whole universe. Not only in its material appearance, and also in its meaning, in the message we read about the qualities of their creator. And therefore, we can communicate with the universe and understand that all over the universe, the same qualities are manifested at the same time, which is amazing. And in such a way that this manifestation is taking place in such a way that we feel fully confident about the absoluteness of the Creator because of its repetition continuously at the same time everywhere. It is impossible to imagine a created being having this ability. That is why when we think about the qualities manifested in the universe, when we think about it universe-wide, including everything, we have the capacity to do that. As the text said, either by intention or imagination or in reality. It is in the very end of the paragraph we read. That is how we can attain to universality in our presentation of our conclusions to the creator of the universe. How? Because we are collecting the data from the universe and presenting it to its creator, not in a physical form, but intention, imagination, or by confirmation, confession. confessing that that is my conclusion. If we notice that, we went beyond the limitations of the universe. And we started having a conversation with the creator of the universe, as far as we are concerned, presenting our conclusion on behalf of the universe. We cannot, we don't only say, I am presenting my idea that I have felt in my existence only, but I perceived in the existence of the whole universe. From one aspect, the worship, it means declaration of my conclusion and admiration of my observation, what I observed, about which I really admire, how perfect is how perfect the creator is. Not only gaining the universality, but also practicing a kind of ascension. Ascension in the name of, as a word I used, as an Islamic term, which represents the presentation of the prophetic journey through the universe, however it is, however it was, and presenting it to God, what the prophet has concluded from his, again, like you and me, observation of the creation of the universe. So everyone within his own or her own capacity, they can practice this ascension. They should practice this ascension after gaining universality in our capacity of imagination or intention, and presenting my conclusion on behalf of the universe, because I am a conscious being. I can do that, but universe can do it. That is up to the universe. I cannot speculate on behalf of another creature, another being. What I concluded, I presented. That is how we should understand ascension. And our ascension, especially during the prayer, because in the prayer, why especially in the prayer is extremely important, because not only by word, but what we do during the prayer, really within the conditions of this universe, I put myself in a position, as I have been taught by the prophetic example, turn to Kaaba, which represents God's unity as true object of worship, God's being absoluteness, not that something of a part of this universe, but the creator of the universe. When I conclude about the creator of the universe, I cannot think of it in terms of anything materiality, in any materiality, which means a part of this universe. So it is the conclusion. First intellectual conclusion, and then emotional, sensual confirmation of it. Yes, as a human being, I'm satisfied with this conclusion. It doesn't contradict my human capacity. That is beautiful to experience this. First of all, it is an honest attitude, honest choice. It doesn't contradict my human capacity. That is one. The second, I feel that if the universe is presented, prepared for me in order to exercise my human capacity, my feelings, I have to express my gratitude to its creator. And I'm doing it. I cannot contradict myself. I should do it. In the prayer, I do it mentally, intellectually, and also sensually, and also physically with my body. That is why prayer, as it is prescribed through the practice of the prophet, by order as God's guidance, all people, if you want to have a right attitude in this world, you need to do it, practice it. That is how it fits to your reality. Your reality requires it to express it physically as well, because we are created in physical terms too. We cannot say, okay, I am hungry and I, of course, everything is created. I believe, I'm convinced everything is created by God. Okay, God will nourish me, feed me. Yes, God feeds you only through material means. So I have to respond back to my God through material means as well. While I am eating, I have to eat the materially existed objects, but at the same time think about it and express my enjoyment, not only verbally, but also emotionally, sensually. Yeah, I'm very happy. That was delicious. And also my face is shiny. I am satisfied. Physical expression is the reflection of my spiritual satisfaction or dissatisfaction. My face get, how do you say it? Frowning, unhappy appearance. That is how we are created. We cannot really separate ourselves or divide ourselves. Materiality of my existence has nothing to do with my sensual side of it. No, even the psychological problems reflects on our material appearances. So we are so much connected with each other. Intellectual activity cannot be individually exercised without the involvement of, for example, emotional feelings. They are all combined. And also when we are happy, what we do, we either applaud it or stand up or shout. Physical activities. We express it by our tongues as well. We have to admit our reality and never stay behind from exercising this ascension as much as possible, consciously, even through imagination or intention. That is how we can do. How about the question? It says it attains a shadow or a ray of this reality of the prayers, either in fact or by intention or with imagination. I have touched upon intention and imagination and neglected, left behind, in fact, on purpose. In fact means in physical terms, essential in physical terms. For example, if I want to express myself to a friend of mine, and I am going to visit him or her, and intentionally I want to thank him or her for any favor, friendship, whatever it is, whatever the reason of visit is, in my intention. And also, before I go there, of course, I imagine, oh, I have to take the train or drive or to his or her address, and where is her address, get GPS ready, etc., etc. This is also, this can happen only imagination. I'm going there, this way I'm going. These are imaginations. My intention is to establish my friendship with this friend and express my feelings. While I'm doing this, in fact, I am taking my body and going there. And also getting a kind of gift. I wouldn't mention which kind of gift I take usually. This is very unconventional. So, so take express my feelings to this friend with my tongue. I'm very happy to meet you again. With my gift to him again, physically. How about essential physical essential? I have not experienced that, but it means taking again, for me, everybody may have different kind of expression. Of his experience of, or different kind of experience of his real essential. For example, I can imagine this. This is my speculations, by the way. This is, you don't have to agree or accept. You may just reject it and forget about it. Turning to Kaaba, standing up, bowing, prostrating. These are physical expressions, not only emotional and imagination, but physical expressions of my conclusions, reciting from the Quran, a piece from the Quran. I am speaking with the language, with the speech of my Creator, responding back, look, I have received this message from you. I am very happy reciting it back to him. Turning the Qibla is very important. Physically expressing my intention, my imagination, that I am presenting this to the absolute being, which is not of the nature of this universe, which means Kaaba. Kaaba represents as Baytullah, God's house. It means in physical world terms, in the universe, there is nothing can represent God at all. What is that Kaaba? if you like, impossibility of representation of God in the world is symbolized in the form of an empty four-square symbol of God, God's universe, and being called house, house of God. What does it mean? Is God here? Nothing, empty. There is no one. It means in the universe you cannot find physically God residing somewhere, being a part of this universe. It's beautiful. Nobody lives there. And it is called Allah's, God's house. So significant. It's amazing for me. So when I turn there saying that, look, I cannot physically be in contact with my creator. Look, if it was possible, I would go and shake hands with him in Kaaba. There is no one there. So it is a physical expression in a negation form. That is very important to understand. In a negation form, I want to be in contact with you physically, but it is impossible in this universe. That is what I am experiencing here by turning and expressing my feelings, by turning to Kaaba, your house, but you are not there. So your house in the universe where you are not there. So how can you call a house of somebody, let's say a house of, let's say John? John is not there. John doesn't reside there. What does it mean? John cannot be represented in the form of the physical appearance of this world. That is very, very interesting, and also very much surprising the way God ordered his prophets that, look, you have to make an open place and call it my house. People will come there, they will realize that I am not there. So they will understand that, oh, it is impossible. If I could physically communicate with God, I would communicate with him in his house, so-called. It's not there. There is no one, nothing. So, as we say, with no residence in it, Kaaba represents God's impossibility to be in contact with him physically. Beautiful, meaningful, but this meaningfulness comes from its symbolic representation, as opposed to those things that we described as point of worship. It means I'm thankful to nature, Mother Nature, laws of nature, whatever you call them, accidental happenings by itself, the matter itself. I can communicate with all of them if they exist within the universe. But they are supposed to be within the universe by definition, but there is no such thing. That is what the meaning of false worship. But by definition, God cannot be the creator, cannot be within the and of the nature of the universe. That is why God must be the one who is not a part of the universe. Anything which is described as the part of the universe must be physically connected or communicated. But unfortunately, laws of nature, there is no such thing that I can communicate. only the way the universe is created, the order of the universe. That's it. That is the order. It's not physical thing, demonstrating that this is a conscious ordering or creation which takes place within an order that I named the order. You don't have to be Einstein to understand that time doesn't exist. Law, in fact, there is no physical existence of laws, nature. No, there is no such physical existence. But what we are observing, only what the universe is, we name it. It is winter, it is summer. In fact, the concept of winter and summer, my concept. But what is the reality? Only the things exist as I experience it. That's it. I'm experiencing and observing the creation, acts of creation, nothing else. Acts of creation. It means acts that brings things into existence, and the actor is the one who brings the whole universe into existence. That is why we have to have a clear mind while we are imagining what all this ascension is, Kaaba is, physical activities in prayers are, all our human capacities, which has intelligence, which has imaginations, which has rationality, which has feelings, enormous, numberless feelings. That is our reality. All the universe manifests the infinite qualities of its creator, continuously demonstrating themselves. What a wonderful existence, meaningful existence, and also my human spirit says, yes, I know whom I belong to. That was the question of the moderator. Where is happiness? I found my reality. I am free from all worries. What will happen to me? What will happen to me tomorrow or after I die? None of my business. I have been taking care of my creator, who is the creator of the whole universe. He is taking care of the universe. Do you think he will ignore me as he creates me and every time anew, perfectly renewed? And he doesn't know what will happen tomorrow. And he is in need of anything. Everything I can imagine is his production of action of creation. I feel comfortable, relaxed in my existence. That is called really pure happiness. No worry at all. There is no if in this happiness. If I could get this, I will be happy. No, 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 no. Absolute doesn't acknowledge if. I am taking care of by my creator. He knows what he's doing. I'm sure his knowledge is absolute. And as he gave me life from nothing, he will give me death, and he can continue giving existence to me as he gave me the desire for it. That promise of desire for eternal happiness from him. That is a promise from my creator. I cannot get it from matter with this desire from matter. I am a human being. I cannot really endorse this idea. It is impossible. Matter has no choice, no free will, no knowledge, no mercy, no grace, anything. Thank you. And I appreciate your patience. Then you didn't stop me saying, no, that's enough. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your understanding. Um, I was reflecting as while you were speaking, and then I asked myself, like in the paragraph, it says here that the reality of the 5 daily prayers as an instance of pure mercy. Let me try to find it. Here it is. And then as you were saying that, okay, I can have an intellectual understanding and an emotional satisfaction. I was wondering if I didn't have the 5 daily prayers, if I didn't have a physical expression, I would actually, and I want to express my feelings and my understanding somehow, it would actually be hard on me, or I would have bitter feelings inside of me, because it's so hard when you have something to say or feel something and you want to express it, but you can't. And so if I don't know what the author meant by pure mercy, but for me, I feel like I will understand it this way, that it is actually merciful to have some kind of expression of what I consider to be my reality. And then when you describe how this creates some kind of universality, or this sort of puts me in connection with the universe or with the rest of creation, I felt happy. I mean, it's a joyful thing to be connected to everything, because my soul always thinks that, okay, I'm this independent thing and I can be, self-sufficient and blah, blah, blah. But here it's like, no, you're actually in a safe existence. Like you described, I genuinely don't have anything to worry about. And the more I recognize it, I can express it. And then the fact that there's a symbolic house of God is pure mercy, as the author, borrowing the author's words. So thank you for that. Okay. Let's see the second part of the fourth ray. If anybody wants to say anything, please raise your hand. If I miss it, just let me know. All right. The frequent declaring of God is most great during the Hajj is for the above reason. For the blessed Hajj is worship at a universal level for everyone. Just as on a special day, like a festival, a soldier goes to the king's celebrations, like a general in the sphere of general, and receives his favors. In the same way, a Hajji, no matter how lowly, is turned towards his sustainer under the title Mighty Sustainer of every region of the earth, like a saint who has traversed all the degrees. He is honored with universal worship. For sure, the universal degrees of dominicality opened with the key of the Hajj, and the horizons of the tremendousness of Godhead, which are visible to his eye through its telescope, and the spheres of worship, which gradually unfold to his heart and imagination through its observances, and the heat, wonder, awe, and dread of dominicality caused by the levels of sublimity and last stage of manifestation can only be quietened by God is most great, God is most great. and those observed or imagined unfolded degrees can only be proclaimed by it. After the Hajj, this meaning is found in various exalted and universal degrees in the festival or Eid prayers, the prayers for rain, and those recited at solar and lunar eclipses, and in prayers performed as a congregation. Thus, the importance of the marks and observances of Islam, also even if of the category of Sunnah, lies in this reason. I think for me here, I asked myself or found it interesting that he mentioned the word sustainer or the name sustainer for God. And his emphasis on God is most great. I honestly don't know what to think of when I say the word great. And I mean, I have a very materialistic understanding of what's great. But I genuinely don't have a meaning for that. So I'm wondering the meaning of it. I'm wondering why is the word sustainer coming in here? Yeah, and that's it for me. Go ahead, Brother Ali.
You are asking wonderful questions today. Very key points. Very important subjects. Now, going on Hajj, what does it mean? All people who claim to believe in the absolute creator come for a special day. Why? That is how the physical terms of this worldly life requires. If I want to see all the people who claim that they believe in the absoluteness of God on in separate days, it doesn't really fulfill the purpose. The purpose is to see what are they doing. For example, I live in here, wherever the geographical part of the earth I'm living, but on the other side of the world, I hear that there are some people who believe in the absoluteness of God. I don't know which kind of understanding they have about the absoluteness of God, unity of God. I don't like oneness or one, this word number. We cannot use any number. But that is technically, translation-wise, may not be possible. So they may use it. I'm not criticizing, but I cannot use it. So I can only say uniqueness of God, peerless of God, or unrepresentability of God, this kind of terminology. Absoluteness is the best, shortest, as far as I could think of. Anyway, so God, of course, acknowledges and knows my reality. Okay, specify the specific day in a year, on a yearly basis. Okay, those people who claim that they believe in the absoluteness of God should come together. Okay, I can give you a day, this day, that's it, as the owner of the universe. So I say, okay, everybody says, okay. And those people all come there, and all of them come to where? While they are praying, they were, or they are, facing to Kaaba in representation of their worship of God. Of course, they are called there. Come and see where God is. You are turning to him, and when they come there, oh, to my surprise, it is empty. There's no one living there. Nothing. They must be surprised. Oh, I turned to Kaaba. Kaaba is empty. There's no one. Come on, am I cheating myself? So, no. When they come there, they have to declare that, of course not. God cannot be a part of this universe, the same nature of this universe. So they get excited, supposedly, and I mean, hopefully, they would say, of course not. How stupid I am to think of that the creator of the universe can be a part of the universe. No, 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 no. That is expressed. God is the most great, beyond and above and beyond this universe. Nothing to do with this nature of the universe. Of course not. This excitement is expressed in the form of Allahu Akbar. Of course, we came here all together. When we see the people came from Indonesia saying Allahu Akbar, oh, they were surprised as well. And people came from America to Allahu Akbar. They say, oh, they were surprised as well. I will feel that all human beings who are aware of one uniqueness of God, they all declare and scream, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, is an excitement of real realization of the absoluteness of God. Otherwise, when we turn to Kaaba, as some people may imagine, not the believers, non-believers looking at the people, everybody turns to somewhere. Oh, are they worship? Their idol is there somewhere in this direction. Everybody turns there. Where you go to find an idol, there is no idol. That's what universe. As far as having the quality of the absolute creator, everywhere is empty in the universe. There is no such thing within the universe. Excitement of realization of the God's not being a part of this universe is expressed in the Hajj by all believers in uniqueness of God, unity of God, by declaring together, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That is the heart of experiencing Hajj, always feeling that this universe is nothing to do with its creator, nothing to do with the quality of being a creator of anything, anything, anything. Nothing can create anything. Nothing has any quality to give existence to anything. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. It is really exciting. So you say, okay, I mean, that is what God says. If you experience that once in your life, that is enough. That is enough. Why? Because you confirmed it. You don't have to go anytime on any occasion. So then let me go again to Kaaba. Let me go. What are they going to find? That you experience that there is no such thing. It is empty. Everywhere is empty. You sacrifice. You through the stone the Satan. It means no, Satan. You cannot cheat me that something. For example, the sun is the source of life. Air is the source of life, etc. You cannot cheat me. You cannot cheat me. I realize, no, these rejections, slaughtering the animals, there means, look, all the things are gifts from my creator. Even the living beings are gifts from my creator to me. So in the name of Allahu Akbar, I can slaughter the sheep. Why? It is sacred only if it is related to its creator. If somebody slaughters the same sheep without having the consciousness, awareness of Allahu Akbar, the owner has given to me, sheep in and of itself has no value. But because it is a gift from my creator, like a flower from my friend, flower is, I'm not going to do anything with it. But it is a representative of my friend's love for me. That is sacred. Now, as long as I acknowledge it, I can slaughter the fish. You don't slaughter the fish, the sheep, or cow, or whatever animal. In the name of him, it means Allahu Akbar, by saying Allahu Akbar. So I can slaughter a banana by saying Allahu Akbar. I can slaughter, I don't know, eggplants, cut it, fish, cook it in the name of God. Allahu Akbar. These are gifts from my creator. I am not sanctifying the eggplant. I am not sanctifying the banana. I am not sanctifying the sheep. I am just using it to express my physical activity by slaughtering. You don't have any value by yourself, in and of yourself. Only you represent greatness of God, and then I do it. This is the practical side of Hajj, so meaningful in every action that is prescribed in it, if only we understand the meaning, rather than saying that the earth, the soil of Mecca is sacred. It means you got nothing. Or the cloth of the Kaaba is sacred. Go and get a small piece as a representative. It is nothing but fetishism. You went to Hajj, became mushrik. That's opposite of the purpose of the Hajj, or that's worship. So it is very interesting to understand that Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, not greater than something else. I don't know, this house is bigger than the other house. No, greatest, beyond my imagination of God, finding God within the universe, beyond my imagination of finding the creator within the universe. Allahu Akbar. Nature, Allahu Akbar. Accident, Allahu Akbar. Mother Nature, Allahu Akbar. Rejected. That is universe is La ilaha. Only through La ilaha we can reach illallah. It is beautiful. Universe, Kaaba, Arafat, Mina, everywhere, sheep, banana, or eggplants, today's examples, are La ilaha, slaughter it. Beautiful, significant, symbolically significant way of understanding worship of God is. I am excited and I couldn't stop myself. Sorry. That's enough for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Does anybody want to add anything? Okay. Let's read. So there's a small prayer at the end of this ray, but I was thinking to keep it till the end. So let's read the short addendum and then we can read the prayer. I don't know if that's the best thing to do, but so a short addendum, it says, the all-powerful and all-knowing one, the all-wise maker, shows his power and his wisdom, and that chance can in no way interfere in his works through the system and order, his rules and practices in the universe demonstrate in the form of laws. When I was reading this, I was asking myself, with which soul am I reading it? Since the author got me into the habit of recognizing what soul is he addressing to. It's something to share. Anyhow, so too through exceptions to the laws, the wonders of his practices, superficial changes, differences in individual characteristics, and changes in the times of appearance and descent, he shows his volition, will, choice, that he is the agent with choice, and that he is under no restrictions whatsoever, thus rending the veil of monotony, and proclaiming that everything is in need of him every moment, for everything, in every way, and is obedient to his dominicality, he dispels heedlessness and turns the gazes of man and jinn from causes to the producer of causes. The statements of the Quran look to this principle. For example, in most places, the next paragraph will explain what he just meant, just so you know. For example, in most places, some fruit-bearing trees produce fruit 1 year, that is, it is given to their hands from the treasury of mercy, and they offer it. Then the following year, while all apparent causes are present, they do not take it and offer it. That is, they do not produce fruit. So year 1, year 2, all causes are the same, all causes are present, but in year 1, the tree produces fruit. In year 2, the tree does not produce fruit. Well, what does that mean? So he's saying, also, for example, contrary to other necessities, the times rain falls are so changeable that it has been included among the 5 hidden things. For the most important position in existence is that of life and mercy. And rain is the source of life and pure mercy. Thus, the water of life and rain of mercy does not enter under a monotonous law, which is a veil and leads to heedlessness. Rather, the all-glorious one, who is most merciful and all-compassionate, and the bestower of bounties and giver of life, holds it in his hand directly, without veil, so that the doors of supplication and thanks will all the time be left open. And for example, the giving of sustenance and determining of particular features are works of special favor, and their occurring in unexpected ways show in excellent fashion the will and choice of the sustainer. You may make further comparisons with other divine acts, like the disposals of the air and the weather and the subjugation of the clouds. I think my favorite line was in the first paragraph of this short addendum, which is from causes to producer of causes. And I mean, I got it from the example. And that's it for me. I'm sorry we're already over time, but if anybody has anything to say very briefly, we can you can share it. If not, I'll just read the prayer. Okay, well, that's the end of the 16th word, discussing the oneness of God. Let me read the prayer, sorry. Glory be unto the one who has placed his treasuries between the Kaf and the Nun. So glory be unto him in whose hand is the dominion of all things. And to him will you all be brought back. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save that which you have taught us. Indeed, you are all-knowing, all-wise. O our sustainer, do not take us to task if we forget or unwittingly do wrong. O our sustainer, let not our hearts deviate after you have guided us, and grant us mercy from your presence, for you are the granter of bounties without measure. And grant blessings and peace to your most noble messenger, the manifester of your greatest name, and to his family and companions and brothers and followers. Ameen, O most merciful of the merciful. These were verses from Surah Yasin, Al-Baqarah, Ali Imran, so chapters 36, 2, and 3. And that is the end of today. Thank you very much. And